promoting this one. Next, please. Next. If you look at the principles and the practice of Unani medicine, you know all of the fundamentals of the principle. Today, the modern people and the conventional medical science people say this is a classical physiology, which is based on the elemental theory of the temperament, the misage, and above all the humoral theory that is concerned to be a classical physiology. And if you look about the state of human body, we have our own understanding. The human body is either in a healthy state or sometimes it is in a ill health, that's called as a disease. But a group of people also say that neither the human body is in a full state of health or not in a state of illness. That's called as the third state. There is no health, no disease also. Next. And moreover, as a part of the fundamentals, we have paid much attention about the importance of the Asbab Sitta Zaruriya. They are the prerequisites. They are going to help us to regulate the disease like a therapeutics as well as the prophylaxis also. Next. As all of you know that the treatment we have, how many treatment modalities are there in Unani medicine? It's a question to all of you. If you look at the literature, how many treatment methods are there, treatment modalities are there in our literature according to Atibba? Of course, my slide shows there are 4. This is for a general public. Technically, as a qualified, institutional qualified, a true Unani graduate, they know that like all of you, there are only 3 treatment modalities. One is at the top, we have the pharmacotherapy, that is Ilaj Biddawa, which encompasses not only the herbal as well as the animal and the mineral drugs are also occupied. Through which we are treating sometimes based upon the requirement of the individual, either single drug or the compound of a drug. The second biggest, very passionate entity of the treatment modality is the Ilaj Biddawa. Of course, one and another way, all of you have been practicing that. The third one, according to my slide, which I have placed separately as Ilaj bil Ghiza, in fact, theoretically, this is not a separate treatment modality. It's a part and part of the Ilaj bil Tadbir only. But for people to convince, we often take it as another modality of the treatment. Finally, we have a very privilege, that's a Ilaj bil at the surgery. I hope you people have come across with the people of the conventional as well as the similar Ayush system of a practitioner. Whenever you say that we do practice a surgery, there is a big question. Is it whether you are capable to, or your syllabus curriculum is having surgery, whether you people have been taught surgery? No. Of course, we have been taught at the graduation level. Nowadays, I think there is a big, not a controversy, the matter of debate is going on that very apex body at the education apex body at the government of India level, they have given permission to one of the Ayush system of medicine that they can liberally practice surgical procedures also. But at the same time, we are also asking about the rights when people have been taught about the surgical procedure at the graduation. Even a post-graduation course is also being offered as a MS surgery. Why we people cannot practice surgical procedure individually? So my purpose of explaining here it is in our treatment modalities we do have surgery. Next, please. If you look at the principle of treatment, we follow the usulism. Wherever there is a disease of cold and temperament, we treat such a condition with the heart. Accordingly, if the problem is heart, we treat with the cold procedures, treatments, drugs, etc., etc. Next, please. Yes, this is a very important point because this slide is going to take you to the point of my discussion. I believe I'm just trying to convince you also. Unani medicine as a science. If it is a science, there is a definitely research. If you look at that, it's my understanding. Unani system of medicine is a science. When we call it as a science, there is a collective knowledge of the particular subject. Here, according to me and the text, what we have learned thought is Unani system of medicine is a complete knowledge about the human being and their states of health and also well as management. Here, my state of, the point of definition here, it is the state of health means whether the person is healthy or ill. If in both the cases, the management is whether it's a prophylaxis or therapeutic, whatever the modality is. But I'm just trying to convince you, Unani system of medicine is a science because it encompasses all the points related to the science. If you truly try to understand what is science, next please. It is defined as an observation, identification, description, experimental investigation and theoretical explanation of the natural phenomena. If you look at Unani, we have so many observations, we are identifying so many things, we are elaborating our concepts with reference to the description, we are experimentally investigating among these fundamentals and many more drugs and their indications. But at the same time, we are trying to explain our theoretical explanation and also the natural phenomena of the disease and the normal physiological condition. With this point of understanding the definition of the science, I strongly believe that Unani system of medicine is also a complete science. If it is a science, then there is the possibility of experimentation. Experimentation, nothing but it is sort of a research. So, let me take you to the definition of the research. Next, please. Research is being defined as a systematic endeavor. It's a hard work, which is chronologically and organized way we are going to conduct, which is characterized by very careful search about the new ideas or the new facts and verifying and collating the old facts. You can define in a different way the definition of the research, but the gist of the research is searching the thing, new thing, searching the thing which already we know, thing which has not been described. Next, please. From the literature, what I have thought and I understood, we have a very strong concept and practices of research in Unani medicine. Before I take you further to this discussion, I have mentioned the word serendipitous. I know most of you know the term and its meaning. Anybody please help me, what is meant by serendipity?
Accidentally invented some drug.
Okay, nearly, thank you. In fact, some of the things which are incidentally known, these are happy findings, accidental findings. In our literature, we have a description of the serendipitous findings. This is also a point of research. Next, please. In our literature, we studied one incident of the person who is suffering with a problem of ascites. Ascites is a condition where the person is like Mike Tyson. I believe you are not listening to my words. Pardon? Ascites is a condition where the person will be highly muscular and like Mike Tyson was a boxer.
No, sir.
No? No. Of course, the person looks like it. With reference to the pathology, maybe a heavy, hefty man, but the major part of the body is being occupied with the fluids are there. We have a literary reference of a person who was suffering with ascites. He was fed up with a life condition. With intention to kill himself, to do harm, he just moved from the society and he was wandering here and there. At one place, he find a man who is selling locustus, tidda. Kannadadalli ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Please, Kannadadalli locustus. So there is no word for jitte, yeah. Chitte, midatte, padatte, ulte, everything is there. Finally, this is something is there. And now the man who is selling it is tasted. It has been roasted with the salt. Like when we come across some of the food street area, now there are different kinds of foods are prepared with the different salt and the spices are there now. Similarly, a man who is selling this or distributing this locustus which is tasted with salt, like the person who is suffering with ascites, he thought, let me die. If I wanted to die, let me have some food satisfactorily I can go for that. Unfortunately, in contradiction to his thinking, after taking this locustus, the condition of his body was disappeared. It is reverted. Like there was a drastic changes. Of course, it does not happen all of a sudden like a miracle in a minute. In the course of a time, he observed that the problem of ascites was disappeared. We learned some lesson that locustus is going to play some important role among the patient who are suffering with ascites. This is an historical example of one of these serendipitous and accidental finding. Next, please. Yeah, in the literature we found that the people, a man, probably was suffering with like a syphilis. It's not clear. Somebody says person was suffering with bronchiolastoma. One more version is there, a man who is suffering with vagina facile, arthritis. Problem. He thought, let me die. Again, just for the purpose, he started taking the Sankhya, Chandra, Harta. These are all mineral and to extent of a toxic drug. And as a result, his problem was resolved. He feel the condition before the drug what he has taken was could change. He feel relief after taking the drug. Next, please. The purpose of bringing this windblast in our literature on the drugs, we have it very beautifully as a weed like a flower, which often we come across as Vinca rosette, Sadabahar. No, the modern conventional science people use this drug, one of the derivatives of this drug as an anti-cancerous one. But you know the interesting story, basically Vinca rosacea, they have extracted one chemical, an alkaloid, and the purpose of extraction of the alkaloid to find out the anti-diabetic property. The August House, I just would like to say that in our literature, Vinca rosacea Sadabahar is being indicated as one of the drugs for diabetes. We have a good description of the diabetes in our literature, and in the literature as a treatment, one of the drugs is shown as a Sadabahar. If you try to remember, Unani literature was date back to some 1100 years back. The entity what we came to know about the importance of the Sadabahar as a diabetic is recent past, only hardly 150 years. The people who are trying to find out the effect of the Sadabahar as an antibiotic, but accidentally they came to know this drug is more efficacious in cancer management, and there is a particular chemical alkaloid that has been blasted that is very important and going to play a role in the anti-cancerous activity. So next please. Penicillin, I hope that you don't know anything about the penicillin. Did you know about the penicillin?
Yes, sir.
No?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is a beautiful flower.
No, sir.
Which is of the Rafflesia. You know the Rafflesia is one of the biggest flower in the universe. There is such a big, in fact this is a fungi. Accidentally it has been invented as one of the antibacterial property. I don't want to waste my time here. Let me take you to another serendipitous invention. Next please. How many of you know about the invention of cinchona bark, quina plant and the malarial property? Have you heard about this cinchona bark? Anti-malarial, the chloroquine what we are using. Nowadays, most of us come across with the hydroxychloroquine, HCQ. What is the purpose for that? Nowadays, why it is in public discussion, HCQ? One of the drug as prophylactic drug is being promoted during the period of corona infection. Okay, this is an analogy of this hydroxychloroquine. This is also a very interesting story. Thank to my students, they help me to understand the manner. A man who is also afraid of some of the condition which is not being diagnosed properly, he fed up and he just moved from the house and wandering near the forest area. How long a person can wander near and there? At one point, some in another way, he started feeling a thirst. To gratify his thirst, he just reached to a canal which is passing from there. He started drinking the water. After 2 to 3 boats of water, he realizes that the taste of the water is not actually the taste of the water to be consumed. Do you imagine that what was the taste of the water? What could be the taste? Obviously, because the bitterness of the water makes this person very apprehended. Oh, I have consumed something which is not normal to my body. Already I am facing some problem. I am not supposed to have some other inverted problem with this water. To the best of his destiny, the problem what he was facing that was not properly diagnosed and not cured was gone out of his body. Later the people came to know that this is the water contains the substance which is flowing from a plant called as quina. The latter we name it as a cinchona bark, and the substance which is coming from that was anti-malarial drug, that is nothing but the chloroquine it seems to be. So these are all some of the things. Basically we did nothing. Accidentally we came to know about this. For your information, except this penicillin, if you explore the Unani literature, we have all the description of the serendipitous experimentation, the research. Next please. I believe you know that in our experimental literature there was a 2 different big terms of this qiyas of tajruba, analogy and experimentation. Qiyas means something we are suspecting, we are imagining something. Experimentation is definitely going to prove here. The concept of qiyas and tajruba is well defined in our literature with reference to the understanding of the drugs with the existing drugs with the human body, organs, and so many things are there. Next. There are certain points under the qiyas. Physico-chemical properties and organoleptical properties have been much important. The people who are from Adivya, those who have completed post-graduation anyway, they are well known about it. Graduation level people are the practitioner. For you people, I am just sharing this knowledge, this information. If you look at the drugs, there are physicochemical and organoleptical property. In our literature, it is mentioned that if you find out the 5 characteristics like the taste, smell, color, weight and consistency of the product, you can able to think about with existing medication, probably the drug which can work accordingly. Next please. And we have a wonderful concept of Adibya Babutashabul Ashkale Badan. Mean there are drugs structurally which resembles the human body or some of the body organs. It is assumption only, it is a qiyas only. Later, they have validated with experimentation. Like अखरोट हमने कभी नहीं देखा, ओनली समर में आता है, बाहर से ब्लू कलर का होता है, अंदर कट करने पे लाल लाल होता है. इट इज अ वाटरी. नहीं, दिस इज walnut truly. But I just try to understand from the people whether they have seen or not. If you open the shell of this akhrot, the walnut, the structure inside is like a fish. No?
Like a brain.
It is something like a liver? No?
It's like brain.
Like a stomach? Of course, from where you are thinking and giving all the cognitive abilities. It resembles like a brain. And we hypothesized that, we thought that, we assumed that, we qiyas kiya ki probably if we give the people who have cognitive abilities, thinking, memory, learning abilities are poor, let us try to give them, find out the effect. You know what is the outcome? Financially their expenditures were increased. Because akhrot is available very economical in the market, except the Kashmir people, it is a little bit difficult to afford this one. But damn sure, akhrot, the people who recommended to the people of suffering with this mental and psychological problem are intellectual properties related, sorry, don't take it as a commercial intellectual property, intellectual related issues of the brain. They found dramatic changes because of a number of alkaloids and chemicals are present in that one. Here, I am just to focus the point of doing this. Adivya, a drug which said they have compared it, they thought it will be helpful. Akhrot is one example. Dana Mastagi, because if you look at the structure which resembles like the stomach, and now we have a good number of preparation. As a practitioner in your day-to-day practice, probably you have recommended the people to take if a person suffering with an acid peptic disorder or any problem related to the digestive system. Most of the time, the point which strikes to our mind is any preparation which is made of mastagi, Jawarish mastagi. Ultimately, the results are very wonderful. See, the qiyas, assumption, experimentation, proving to be very judiciously right. Like Suranjan Shirin, whether we have Shirin, Talq, Motadil,
Yes, sir.
hota hai kya?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Acha, very good, thank you. No, don't take the Talq. Suranjan Shirin, if you look at the structure of the Suranjan Shirin, which resembles very similar to the joints of the human body. Based on assumption, we gave it to the people who are suffering with the joint pains and the ailments of the joint, and it is experimentally proved that generally we prescribe marjoram Suranjan, Herbe Suranjan, and a compound Suranjan made up of a Suranjan for pain management. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
No?
Yes, sir.
Let us please interact. Otherwise, we will not be happy. Okay, thank you. And no, very interesting. Beans, including the seed from the mango. If you remove the seed, try to take the endocarp. Imagine about the structure of the seed of this mango or the bean which is available in the market, which resembles like the kidney. Again, it is proved that some of the seeds, they are like a seeds, they are like a bean shape, which may help or which protect the kidney. So this is one point of understanding from the literature. Next please. Yeah, that's a Hayvani. We have done so many things from the animals. Next please. There is one important incident in the literature, Amaletai. We have learned a lesson from the animal that is specifically meant for the enema procedure. Next. Badiyan and Mamira. It's a very interesting one. बादियां तो आप लोग नहीं देखे हो, आज दोपहर लंच के बाद भी रखा था इन्होंने.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Generally, in the hotels, the outlets, while coming out of the hotel after payment or before payment, making scapegoat to somebody, our friends, now we often pick some amount of the badiyan there. Is it true? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Badiyan and mamira, these are the two different species. Under bracket I have kept, this is good for the vision. What does it mean? Vision mean it's going to deteriorate the visual ability or it increases the visual ability? Increases. You know the very interesting story behind this importance of the vision?
Yes, sir.
If I ask you a question, among the reptiles, which is the most likely reptile by the you people?
Snakes.
Snakes.
You people like very much the reptile? I think we care about this.
Snakes.
If I say that I saw one snake here, definitely all of you people will leave this auditorium. No? Yeah. The story what I am going to share or the incident mentioned in the literature is whenever the snake is in a hibernation like if I am trying to mesmerize you, all of you people are in the hibernation. At the end of the lecture, if you try to move now, the state of transition from active to inactive phase. We find that when the snake is in a hibernation mode, if it come out of the hibernation, it will go through some of the species, particularly Badiyan or Mamira. You know what happened? As a process, if it go through these plants, the shield which is covered over the snake will be removed. कभी आप जंगल में देखे हो कि सांप की जाली खेत पड़ी हुई रहती है?
Yes, sir.
So this we have learned from the animals. As a result, we don't know whether the shield is being removed that makes the snake to be very comfortable in vision, or when the snake came in contact with these plants, there is an increasing in the visual ability. But the history says, the literature says that the snake has been benefited with whenever they come in contact with the two species like the Badiyan and Mamira in improving the vision. Next, please. Errand. I hope we know that errand.
Yes, sir.
Where we use this? Castor. Generally, when we recommend castor preparation, castor for some laxative purposes. Now, in our literature, beyond certain indication, we also learn about that. In the literature, it is mentioned that monkey was accidentally, it has been bitten by the snake. एक बंदर को सांप काटा हुआ था. And now that group of a bandar, they reached to rescue the monkey which is bitten by the snake. How the monkey was treated here? Other group of a monkey, they started taking the errand leaves, they masticating it, and the same thing is being given to the what is called as the monkey which is being met with a snake bite. Here you look at the phenomena. The monkey which was met with an accident of the snake in a state to make ultimate purpose of explanation here it is the properties of the extract of the leaves of the errand has some antidotic activity or Piriac effect against certain poisons of the snake. To the best of my ability, with the help of my students and scholar, I was just trying to find out the modern validation about this phenomena, but I couldn't get it. Inshallah, if time permits, we will try to find out the importance. From the literature, what we learn, the leaves, extracts of the errand leaves having some Piriac property and antidote property, particularly among the snake bite one. Next. Okay, like as I told you, in our literature we have qiyas of tajruba. Qiyas, anticipation or suspicion or anything, analogy we have completed. Experimentation, our science says that whatever the thing is being anticipated or expected, that should be tested with properly. Experimentation should be conducted. In our literature, most of the physicians like the Razi, Gualisin and the other authorities, they said that don't experiment directly upon the human beings. Before you test any drug, any new entity, better to test it on the animal subjects, animals. So once it is to establish the safety as well as the efficacy. Next please. In literature and the modern people also, modern science also universally accepted that Avicenna is one of the person who is a pioneering personality in the field of research. His 7 principles are there which emphasizing about the drug standardization. He said that whenever you take research in a drug, the drug should be pure. The drug should be tested only in one indication. And the drug should be tested when the disease condition is in a peak. The drug should be not to be tested when the disease is in a natural course of declining. Like there are 7 principles. Above all, they said that before giving any drug to the human subject should be tested on the animals. They have paid much importance about the safety aspect of the drug before they are going to find out the efficacy. Next please. We have a very dynamic proudal personality in the Unani system of medicine like Muhammad Abu Bakr Muhammad bin Zakaria Razi. Next. You know, my dear friends, he is the man who first explained about the concept of microorganism. You know what is the experiment he conducted, how we came to know about that he has given the concept of microorganism? He was the chief physician of the Baghdad. The kingdom, the rulers say that, Mr. Razi, we are permitting you to construct the hospital in that area. Being an intellectual, he collected the meat pieces and he threw it in different parts of the area they are planning intended to construct a hospital. After 2-3 days, he just went to the area and collected the meat at the ghost house ne rakha hua tha. You know what he observed from the places? Help me. Amina, I know that you know the answer. Thank you. Let's motivate other people to be the discussion. If you are feeling bored, I'll conclude it in the next 10 minutes, 2 minutes also. If you are truly thinking that we are learning something, let me make to be continue this. My purpose of asking question is not to test your ability, just make you to be alive and to understand this. Again, posing the question. What was the determination at the Razi when he has placed this mutton, other pieces of mutton at that places? Yes, he observed that in different places the process of putrefaction from the meat, and he come to the conclusion the place where he don't find the mechanism, the process of putrefaction is less, was selected to be construction of the hospital. The objective behind this, he said that this area or the air of this area is free from microorganism. By that time we don't have any idea of the concept of the microorganism. The microorganisms, nothing but the today's modern knowledge of bacteria, viruses, fungi, algae, anything, right? So, this, according to my understanding, he is the man who gave the concept of microorganism. If there is a microorganism, there is an infection also, right? Next. We should greet our own self, pat ourselves, because we have a very wonderful personality. There was a period when a huge number of people were suffering with the smallpox and the measles. There was no remedy, no rescue. Even the contemporary physicians are unable to understand what the disease is. Razi is the man who completely explained about, and not only explained and understand this, he made a landmark differentiation between the measles and the smallpox also. When to call it as a measles, when to call it as the smallpox, with illustrious explanation. He said that in both the conditions, if the person is developed fever, it is a good sign of infection. Go and repeat the literature. Next, please. And probably he is the one who gave the concept of ilaj bil misl. Today we are talking about the vaccination, the concept of inoculation. Today we are one and another. I think how many of people have been vaccinated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many of particularly the COVID-related vaccination? How many of you people have received the vaccination? Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful response. If you look into the literature, we have, I think, Razi is the man who first promulgated about the concept of ilaj bil misl. The misl is nothing but the inoculation. Later, the people, they have taken over and they elaborately came out of the development of the vaccination. Next, please. Yes, Razi, as I told you, not only the Vibracena, Razi also emphasizes about any experimentation should be subjected to first animals. Later, the same thing should be tested among the human subjects. Next. Coming to today's meeting, the purpose of meeting today, and dedicating this presentation to the man who is the founder of this modern research, the contributors of research in Unani medicine. My point of discussion here is the Hakim Ajmal Khan, to whom I can say he is the father of modern foundation made with a modern researcher in Unani system of medicine. Next, please. If you look at today, who is contributing truly with reference to the research in Unani medicine, as I already quoted, Hakim Ajmal Khan is the pioneer, is the founder of the modern research, Later, the government of India established a very prestigious, a very objective-oriented research organization with the name of Central Council of Research in Unani Medicine India under the Ministry of Health before that. Now it has been taken by the research Ayush. Next, please. But at the same time, we have different academic institutions and research institutions, under which there are very few institutions which simultaneously focusing not only the education, imparting education, but at the same time they are also working with the research perspectives. Among the top is the Hakim Ajmal Khan PDM College, Aligarh, because this is the one which established with the Rasul time the first. Later, Government Nizam TB College, Hyderabad, Jamia Hamdard, New Delhi. Of course, at the bottom, who is in the bottom here? National Institute of Unani Medicine, of course. We are at the bottom. Why I say that we? Because I know that most of the people have been educated. I find a great number of the alumni of the NIM from here. So, though we are at the bottom, we came later at the end of the time, but we have taken a lead. Now today, I can say National Institute of Unani Medicine has taken a lead in the field of research of Unani Medicine. Next, please. Let us try to understand what exactly the Hakim Ajmal Khan did to the research in Unani Medicine. Like, as said already, he is the man who laid the foundation for the modern research in Unani system of medicine. Okay. The best point, what I observed from his observation is his statement is, he was trying to convince the people associated with the alternative system of medicine, because he not only paid emphasis to Unani, but at the same time, he also picked Ayurveda. Simultaneously, both the system has been grown in his dynamic leadership as a Hakim. So he said that integration of the principles and practices of your system with the conventional medicine should be taken care. Today, I think somewhere we are distracting, we are deviating. It is a need of the time. I think we have to go with integration. Not only the principles, sometimes along with the principal practices should also be made. Now we are living the 2021, nearly 100 and how many years old back, Dr. 1920 probably, Hakim Ajmal Khan told that it is a need of the time to the convention, that alternative people to be integrated to the modern medical sciences. And what he did, initially he started a research division at the Ajmal Khan Ayurveda Ninantika College, Karol Bagh. Today the college is there, the Karol Bagh. There was a separate section for the research. He took help of the several people. With the help of a good elite group of the scientists at the Aligarh Muslim University, I would like to place a very dynamic personality who is a friend of Hakim Ajmal Khan, Dr. Salimuzzaman Siddiqui. He is basically a chemist who was there in Germany for higher studies. Hakim Ajmal Khan and Salimuzzaman Siddiqui were the good friends. Hakim Ajmal Khan invited Mr. Salimuzzaman Siddiqui to India. Soon after he reached India, he accepted the invitation of the Ajmal Khan, and he utilized the laboratory established with Hakim Ajmal Khan as one of the Dawakhanas there. There, Salimuzzaman Siddiqui, next please. We know that Rawalpindi Sarpaganda, Asrul, Rawalpindi Sarpaganda. हमने सुना है, हमने पढ़ा है. Since +2 we are well acquainted with this stuff, Rawalpindi Sarpaganda. Okay, you know there are about 9 alkaloids derived or discovered by Dr. Salimuzzaman Siddiqui, and all the 9 alkaloids were dedicated to Hakim Ajmal Khan. The purpose here it is, during his invention, discovery by Salimuzzaman Siddiqui, he said that the knowledge or the importance of Rawalpindi Sarpaganda I learned from Hakim Ajmal Khan. From his preliminary information, I tried to evaluate and extracted all such alkaloids, so it makes him a compulsion as a token of incentive, as a token of a gesture of the goodwill. He named all such alkaloids to Ajmal, like Ajmalin, Ajmalacin, Isoajmalin, Neoajmalin, maybe many more. Like there are 9 alkaloids dedicated to Ajmal Khan, and now globally, worldwide, all such alkaloids are being used for different entities. Beyond that, later some other people have extracted, Reserpine is also there. But the question, according to Buali Sina, this Hakim Ajmal Khan and the other people, Rawalpindi Sarpaganda, Dr. Salimuzzaman Siddiqui said that this is one of the best drug for anti-arrhythmic agent, like ventricular tachyarrhythmia. Later, some other people have added the information that Asrol is a good drug of hypertension, and many people, the pharmacologists, they recommended this Ralphia powder of the Ralphia for insanity and along with the violent medical symptoms as a hypnotic also. This was the first supposed to be the research point of view thing which is given us by Hakim Iqbal Khan with the help of his friends. Based upon this thing only, I can say he is the man who first propagated this research in United System of Medicine. Next, please. In 1978, Government of India established a Central Council for Research of Unani Medicine. Basic objective of this CCRM is to conduct research. Before proceeding to further, I have a question. Will you accept my question? Yeah. Today, how many teaching institutions are exclusively offering postgraduate level of education in United System of Medicine? I'm expecting the answer from this side. Oh. Now we have, let me spread my point of view to the India, throughout India, how many institutions that exclusively for the Unani offering postgraduate level education? Maybe 10, 11, 5 to 10. Of course, satisfactory, we have reached to 7 number. A round of applause to the government Unani Medical College. They started this postgraduate course. We hope so. They are going to do a very tremendous job, not only academics and academic related research also. For this, you people are deserved to be greeted for this one. My concern here is this is the second point of the question is, how many institutions offer PhD program in Unani throughout India?
Only one.
3. Who are those?
Only one.
I got the answer. In the beginning I told you the basic objective mandate of CCRUM is research. But they interfere into the academy also. If my job is today, right now the assigned job is I have to deliver a talk, rather than I've started doing some sort of a nonsense thing, will you accept? Maybe out of their interest here. CCRUM, basic objective is the research, but beyond the sphere of the research, they started the academic activity also. Like some of my friends have told, PhD program, of course, GNTC offers the PhD program. PhD, wherever there is a point of a PhD, this is exclusively research. There is no academic activity. It's a research-oriented academia. CCRUM also started the PhD program. Of course, every partially because their mandate is research, so they can conduct the research program also. Since 1978, please sir, next. What research they have done, they are doing? Initially, they started doing the literary research. That is very fundamental. What basic job they have taken? Whatever the material available with reference to Unani, either it is Arabic, Persian, or Hebrew, or any language, with the help of the language expert, they started translating it. Of course, thanks to the CCRM. Because today, what most of the material we are referring as a texts or anything, their contribution cannot be denied. They have helped us to understand the classical, ununderstandable language, Persian, Arabic literature into Urdu. Not only Urdu, most of the vernaculars are also, we have some information, that great contribution given by the CCRM. Next, please. Drug standardization. Next. Drug standardization, they are just trying to assist the drugs qualities and their important points. I think I am also not an expert to explain so many things about the drug standardization. The purpose is to have a uniform, similar kind of a drug whenever you are going to manufacture. For that, what cautions to be taken? Basically, it talks about the quality control. When you maintain the quality, definitely the effect will be consistently same. Right. Clinical, if you look at the clinical research, what they have carried so far, the major area of the research of this CCRM is skin diseases. CCRM is famous for vitiligo. Generally, if you met any person with vitiligo, leukoderma, sir, now Hyderabad hogi banda sir ali, or namage aushadhi kotta, but often it is very difficult to go and come out of the Hyderabad. Will you provide at the National List of Unani level? I hope so. At the GUMC hospital also, people of the leukoderma often might have asked you, will you treat the same problem, the vitiligo, leukoderma, or beyond that, psoriasis, eczema, dermatitis? Generally, people prefer to take treatment at the Hyderabad because Hyderabad CRIU unit is dedicated nowadays for exclusively skin diseases, skin ailment. They have grown to that level. I believe that Padma Shri Wahid Sahab, the government of India, whenever Khasmi is the director, Wahid Sahab, he has been awarded with this, the very prestigious national award of the Padma Shri because of his contribution, the work he carried out. You know what is the quantum of work he carried? Can you quantify it? How many? Some hundreds, tens, 20s, hundreds, thousands? अंदाजा है ना नहीं होगा ना? To the best of my understanding, he carried out around 3 lakh plus cases of vitiligo. So it's a very great contribution. Really, he deserved to be awarded such a very national award like Padma Shri. For that, we definitely extend our comments. So skin diseases, musculoskeletal also, they are doing, the work is of course moderately acceptable. Renal related issue also we find, except renal calculi, we are not exceeding beyond the renal calculi, whosoever may be, including the national institution also. Anemia, helminthic infestation, these are the area where they focus. Next please. The major point, research in academia, industry. You know how many industries, I mean to say the pharmaceutical industries exclusively working for the Unani ड्रग मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है? कुछ तो दवा साज फार्मेसीज हमें पता है कितने लोगों की, कुछ नाम पहले बोलते ही फर्स्ट जबान का था हमदर्द, उसके बाद आता बेदर्द, दर्द ही दर्द, रेक्स, हरमास, मोहसिन देलवी, थैंक यू फ्रेंड, Ramya, अच्छा Jamia remedies from Deoban. If you calculate all those things, hardly I think we can reach to the extent of 2 to 3 dozen. If yes, 7 to 8, maybe GMP certified are hardly few. Dozen, 2 to 3 dozen, in 36, maybe up to 50 also. Yeah, if you come to the point of the good manufacturing practices, very few. Even I'm not bothering about the GMP. How they are preparing is not the question. How many pharmaceutical industries they themselves have a research and development wing? No science, no subject, no branch will flourish unless the people have taken a crucial interest for their development. Hamdard done? Hardly two. Hamdard and Multani Pharmacy. And beyond that, very few people, they have a dedicated research and development. What is the objective of R&D? If you are stagnant at one point, see, your survival will be a big question mark challenge. To prove yourself that you are existing, to make your identity very versatile, you have to do something. Maybe it's a foolish thing, wrong thing. I'm not promoting. Do something which is the best for the society. There's a big gap. No R&D. Hamdard and maybe Multani or many few more things are there, industry point of view. I don't have my data about the industrial people. Let me talk about the academia. Basically, academic institutions as their purpose, objective is to teach you, make you a good doctors, make you a good teachers, make you a good researchers. The pharmaceutical industry is lacking. Next, please. Yeah, I'm very happy to place myself as one of the representative. This is the source of bread and butter for me, National Institute of Unani Medicine. We are very happy to be here in the land of Karnataka with the help of the local bureaucrats and the politicians, because they have given a place to come out of this a very big institution. For that, I don't need to repeat all those things. Definitely, we are very much grateful to the people of the Karnataka and all the people. Since 2004, thank you. Since 2004, the National Institute of Unani Medicine is associated with the teaching exclusively post-graduation level, and as part of the post-graduation academic as the research till today, up to 1920, what research this institute has given with reference to the Unani medicine. अंदाजा है कुछ कितना हो सकता है? कितने हो गए अब तक? कितने? See, 2004 अब तक कितने साल हो गए? 16-17 years now. 17 years, 15 साल तो हो गए. And एवरेज हर साल अगर हमारे पास से 25 से 30 students अगर PG degree complete कर रहे हैं, तो mean every postgraduate student as a part of a curriculum, a part fulfillment for the award of the degree, they have to do some research. If you calculate like this, so please calculate and give me the answer. So let me proceed further. An average of 25 students per year for the last 15 years.
375.
375. कुछ और बढ़ाएंगे?
450
कुछ कम कर लें? 400. 400. Very nice. Thank you. See, you people are very near to your assumption. Your qiyas is going to prove scientifically here, the experimentally. Till today, of course, I have missed some of the data. The total quantum of research exclusively conducted as academic research by the National Institute of Human Medicine is around 495. I am expecting a round of applause for the contribution of this. Thank you. Next. If you look at this 495, categorizing the area, 234 exclusively research was carried out in the field of clinical research, clinical trial. It includes Dr. Shahabuddin work is also there, Dr. Aisha Tabassum work is still in the process, and Salma Manjula's work is also definitely there. Suma, your work is not there in this clinical one. I'll come to your point. Dr. Arifa's work is there, Dr. Fatma's work is also there. If I am missing, Bagli, yours in the community medicine. Naeem, I think he was from the Adivya now. So, no. The 234, you are the contributor for this number. If you look at the preclinical, some of the work which carried on the animal models, in vitro and in vivo. I'm happy to place the names like Naeem is from there. And yeah, we have a Dr. B.N. Kumar here. Many posts. The anchor, the beautiful personality. And we miss you, doctor, because you are registered for the PhD program there now? Yes. So, preclinical, you are the contributor to make this number. Of course, I may be missing few numbers of this preclinical, but we did a very wonderful research in this one, 102. Fundamentals. Anybody from any of course, I think we have missed people from this Karnataka state. But nowadays, students from Karnataka, they are taking interest to take admission in the fundamentals like Kulia. Those are almost they are enrolled, they are pursuing their studies. We have not considered the data. Fundamentals is exclusively related to the Kulia. Community medicine, Bagli. And we have Dr. Hanif. Oh, I miss you. Hanif, very good personality. Doctor. Rahmatullah and Maqsood. Maqsood also did the same work now. Beyond that, we have a group of people from different parts of the India. I extend a greeting to all of you because you have contributed to the field of a community medicine. Okay. Drug development, Saidala. I couldn't remember. How many? Sadia Batul, yes. Sadia and Tabarak. Tabarak from Adivya. And Tabarak's wife, I think Adiba is from Adivya. Salma is from Adivya. Okay. So, drug development exclusively we have very single person, Sadia Batul. I think you are the only person. And your own daughter, don't take it as your daughter. The daughter of the Karnataka side, Ruhi Zamai, she is the one taken lead of the department. Okay. So, drug development, their standardization. Go to the next slide, please. If you look at this graphically, we are trying to show you 108 exclusive work is carried out with the Mualaja clinical trials. Adivya 102, Tahfuzi Samaj 80, Niswan of Kabbalah nearly 76, Saidala nearly some 39, Kulia 35, Ilaj with Tadbir 20, Jarahat exclusively 20, and this Taziniat and Amral Mahikal Amraz. I request all of you to welcome my student from Skin Department of National Institute of Medicine with a lot of applause. The pioneering batch of the National Institute of Human Medicine is here. I know that government of Karnataka permitted you people to start post-graduation program in 2 specialities. One, it includes skin also. Inshallah, we will try to work together as an integration with the help of both the teams. Inshallah. So these are the two new departments, that's Jindal Taziniat and Mahitul Amraj. Recently they came and we have taken only a few data for 1 year batch. Next please. 234 here, that's clinical, as I already told you, 234. The major work out of 495 research is carried out by NIEM is 230 clinical. Next please. Again, it is trying to show you that how many are Mullah, Mu'alajat, Niswana Kabbalah, Tadbir, Jarahat, etc. Next please. The very interesting point, because this slide is going to give you the trend about the research in Unani medicine. What are the areas we are exploring the effectiveness, where we can set ourselves, where we can explore the possibilities of the effectiveness with reference to the Unani is, if you look at this, around 18 research, 27 research works are exclusively carried out in musculoskeletal diseases. I'm happy to place myself before you because most of the musculoskeletal diseases have been covered by myself as an investigator. 27. The second highest number is endocrinology. If you look at endocrinology, it is something like a vast portion. But what are the diseases we have? The NIEM has taken as a research. Can you imagine about what are the diseases where we can explore our potentiality? Endocrinology?
Hypothyroidism.
Hypothyroidism?
Diabetes.
Metabolic syndrome.
Pakka, is it PCOD is an endocrine problem or is it something like a, we'll take it as a gynecological one? Endocrinology. Interlinked exam. I wish to take your attention to, just now we have submitted the final thesis and viva for the award of a PhD degree in one of the burning endocrine problem, that is on hypothyroidism. I need one more round of applause because under my guideship, with the help of Dr. Anzar Alam, please, Anzar Alam, we successfully completed our PhD thesis presentation. The wonderful result, very encouraging result. The drug Marjunes Salkas is used as a anti-hyperlipidemic, as an anti-thyroidic activity in comparison with the established drug. But major endocrinal work where we have focus is with the diabetes only. Because diabetes is a big issue nowadays. Every science is trying to find some solution, but nobody is giving any promising result. The modern science is also showing its inefficacy. Oral drugs are not responding to the extent they are expecting. Forcibly, people are keeping on insulin preparations. So we tried as an adjuvant effect, as individual effect in the endocrinology. Neurological system is also not being kept away. Our unit under the dynamic leadership of Dr. Nasir Abdul Nasir Ansari, he is tremendously working to develop a good module of institution as an ideal institution for management of the neurological problem, particularly on hemiplegia and hemiplegia related rehabilitation. Cardiovascular system, our approach is very limited. Major work is carried out on hypertension only. Beyond that, hardly one another aspect of the cardiac related issue. Respiratory, we have did a number of work on asthma. Dr. Aisha is also going to submit her thesis very next few months. There is also an asthma. GIT, here I can say that we can expect something more about the hepatoprotective activity because conventional medical sciences, the reach of the conventional medicine is very limited, very meager when the point of organ safety is concerned. They don't have any hepatoprotective drugs. They don't have any renal protective drugs. They may not have cardioprotective drugs. Our science is imbibed with rich of drugs which are very potential tonics for this hepato. Maybe Himalayas Live 52 is one of the best drugs. If you don't consider it as a Ayurvedic specifically, if you look all the ingredients are of Unani only, of course, but it is an exclusive proprietary drug of Ayurveda. It is a very remarkable drug, is being sold in the market as a hepatoprotective. Like we do have Jigri, Marjune, the Bidurward, and many more drugs are there. We can explore many researches in hepatoprotective properties of the drug. Next, please. Yeah. Whatever the data I placed before you, that is the contribution of Hakim Ajmal Khan, some of the institution. At most, my emphasis was to bring you the information from the National Institute of Indian Medicine. Let me add one more thing. Government of India, under the Ministry of Ayush, they have developed a dedicated portal, Ayush Visit portal. we just try to find out the information, because this is a dedicated Ayush portal where all the research related publications are available. We enter into find out the authentication of the research work. Next please. Out of Ayush different system, a total of 2,625 research publications are available in this portal. 2624. Next, if you look at the 2624, 454 works are exclusively on the clinical research. Next, 212 are on preclinical research. Maybe this is an experimentation animal model. Next, a huge number of work published on drug research, around 1,247. Next, a second biggest number of works published on the fundamental research, around 711. All this data shows that as a researcher, we are just trying to standardize our drug. We are giving the literary support. Or initially, the postgraduate level research and the industries were focusing about the effectiveness of the drug. So, a huge number of the publication, what we observe from the drug development, followed by validations of the concept from the fundamental point of the research. Still, people will ask you, what is this akhlaq? You said humors. What is this misaj? How we are going to explain the misaj? We said there are 4 kind of personality traits. Damavi, Balgami, Safravi, Saudavi. Ultimately, the people ask you, what kind of a personality you are? Do you have an answer to your own question? We are the master, we are the graduates of our own system. I am unable to define myself, which kind of a personality I am. Whether I am a purely Balgami, Saudavi, Safravi or Damavi. Thank you. But I believe I am a Balgami. So, we are trying to convince such questions with the help of the literature. What are the determinant factors through which one can determine the individual's temperament message? Like that, there are so many points. Generally, we focus on to convince the modern community, the community which is looking keenly to understand your own concepts, that make a major contribution. As a reason, probably we are missing many more scientific papers. Right. Preclinical, of course, since the beginning, we have post-graduation institutions, but limited animal expectations are carried. Clinical research is, of course, taken a lead. Next, please. Here again, the showing, if you look at the graph, drug development has occupied the highest number with 1274, the second is 711, all this again. Next, please. Whatever the data I have shown, we are, see, based on the WHO, we are trying to assess, categorize such a data, how far it is good. Good in the sense, whether the research was carried out according to the scientific parlance, guidelines. So the WHO given such an understanding. Any research which is conducted based upon someone randomized control trial and with literature and all those things, like the total 2,624 data was categorized into, next please. Evidence A means they are good research work, where the researchers incorporated a good methodology and they are supposed to be randomized control trials. 225. Grade B, where randomization was not made, simple observation studies and they published like 103. Grade C, there is no such a scientific strength of the paper, only expertise experiences or augmented this. Right. Next please. Very final. इसके बाद एक स्लाइड के बाद एक बात भी नहीं बोलूंगा. Will you allow me? Okay. So coming to the conclusion part of my deliberation, that threads where we are going. Next, please. Fundamentals. Generally, in the fundamental research or the literary research, we are just trying to validate the concept. हमारे 4 खिलते हैं, आयुर्वेदा में 3 खिलते हैं, 2 शास है. हमारे पास 4 अर्कान हैं, उनके पास पंचभूता हैं. हमारे पास पंचकर्मा, उनके पास 5 कर्मा है. हमारे पास इलाज तर्ज में 100 कर्मा है. Of course, they are correlating. Correlation studies, concept validation. Next, I would like to add one more point here in this. In our area of people only, we are trying to establish the words for the role of earth in sustaining the life of the individual. This is the work we carried in the fundamental research. If there is no earth, there is no sustainability of the life. Is it true? For our server, we need a base now. Earth, every substance is residing over there. We are validating, of course. The way of validation may be different, but the concepts are there in our literature. We are trying to convince the people. In the drug standardization, Batul, Sadhya, in her area, they focus on the standardization of the classical formulation. सारे पुराने खराबादीन उठाए उसमें, उन्होंने देखा, उसको उठाया, कुछ दवाएं बदल दी, कुछ दवाएं वही ले ली, and they did a lot of modern equipmental work. HTPLC, PPTLC, something, anything they will do. Of course, their work is very preliminary. They are giving the challenges to the world. This is development of the dosage form. I can say drug delivery system. How many of you are truly looking for the change of the dosage form? Mean, आपके माजून को किसी और शक्ल में बना दें, आपके हलवे को, आपके शरबत को. None of you are expecting to have the injectables. I'm getting different impulses here. Basically, the Sadala people are drug standardization. So they are focusing about the drug delivery system. I have my own observation. When we serve medicine to the patient, in one pouch we'll give Sharbat-e-Bazuri, in another pouch we'll give Rawan-e-Haftabar. Like you two have your own preparation. There is a question, the problem of misidentification, medication error likely to be happen among the patients. The patient who is supposed to take syrup, I hope you understood the problem. So, Sadala people, standardization people, they are keenly observing how to minimize this or to change the dosage form. Let us convert this Majun to a capsule. As an effort, Majune Falsafa is now available in the form of capsules also. कौन सी फार्मेसी मार्केटिंग कर दी है भाई? किस फार्मेसी वाले ने माजून फलासफा को कैप्सूल की शक्ल में सप्लाई कर रहा है? नहीं पता है. चलो मैं भी नहीं शेयर करूंगा. But I know I have answers. Development of dosage forms. Like in our institution, a team of scientists, they are trying to convert some of the substances to the granulation part. That makes very comfortable and the palatability also. Shell life, we don't know. अक्सर कहते हैं मार्जिन जितना पुराना होगा उतना अच्छा होगा. इथ्रोफिल 100 साल का है तो बहुत अच्छा है. My dear people, you know that the chances of microbial load increase is also cannot be ruled out. Of course, you have taken all the precautionary measures while you are preparing the drug. The consistency, the incipients, preservatives, all the things are there. Exceptions are also there. Subconsciously, the container in which you are keeping the drug might have not cleaned thoroughly. It is with water. क्या होगा? आपकी सारी मेहनत रायगा जाएगी, वेस्ट हो जाएगी. So shelf life in another way, trying to establish the life of the drug, how long the drug can be actually consumable. This is a wonderful area, and now our team of scientists at the Sadala level, they are bringing the shelf lives also. Next, please. Preclinical. Dr. Salma, Dr. Naeem, Dr. B.N. Kumar. Very few people here from the Advya department. Their work is drug development process. किताबों में लिखा हुआ है कि ये फलानी दवाई है, पहले उसको एनिमल पे दे दिया, प्रूव किया, मालजात वालों के हवाले कर दिया, तुम चाहो तो करो या ना करो. So they do the in vitro and animal experimentation. Basically, they study the pharmacology and the toxicology. They are the very backbone for the medical management system. If they don't give the data of the pharmacological effect, above all toxicology, I'm a man from the pharmacovigilance program. I'm paying much attention to this safety rather than efficacy. So the toxicological report also being given by the preclinical one. Development of different dosage forms also they are focusing. Therapeutic validation also. At the animal model level or in vitro, they are validating the therapeutic indications of the drugs. Next, please. Dr. Bagli, Dr. Rahmatullah, Dr. Hanif's department. Community medicine. Basically, what they are doing and chances of doing is cross-sectional studies that the survey they used to conduct. What kind of a survey they are doing? Either they are trying to find out the prevalence. Is it true? Prevalence of the disease, prevalence of the lifestyle modifications of anything. Or sometimes you are asking health and hygiene related awareness program. Adding some more information, our scientists from the community medicine, they also started exploring the understanding of Unani medicine and the consumption of Unani drugs. It's a sort of a data collection survey. So, some portion of these community medicines are also conducting prophylactic study, meaning preventive studies are also. This is the scope and the terms now going on. Finally, next please. Unfortunately, the area to which I belong, clinical trial, we are just validating the therapeutic efficacy and the safety. Whether the drug work, is it give exactly what we are indicating, that has been indicated in the literature. By the same time, we are validating, yes, हकीम अजमल खान ने रिजर्पेंट को और अजमलिन को हाइपरटेंशन में दिया था, हमने उसको एक्सपेरिमेंट एनिमल में नहीं, दैट वाज नाउ वी आर डायरेक्टली ट्रांसमिटेड टू द ह्यूमन बीइंग्स इन स्टडीइंग द इफेक्ट. इफ द रिजल्ट सेज the ajmalin or the compounds of azrol are antihypertensive, hypnotics or anti-arrhythmic, all such validations we are doing like we used to do also. And generally the modern concept of research, randomized controlled trials are also taken a big trend in the clinical trials, where the people of Unani system of medicines are comparing their own formulations with the existing or proven efficacy, or sometimes the standard drugs are also being taken as a comparator or any other comparator, where it could be the placebo also. Next please. The most deserving slide. Conclusion. What I believe, this is my perception. If you look at this conclusion, Unani system of medicine is science. Is a science of medicine. No science will be a stagnant. If you say anything scientific, it's a consistently, there is a change, there is a new exploration, there is new experimentation, observation, reporting, all these things. Even we are also doing the same thing. Till today, most of the period of the science in Unani, mostly we have focused on theoretical and conceptual validations, and such validations are carried out with a simple observation without comparator. A major emphasis of the research has been paid toward the standardization of the drug delivery and other things. Potential area of clinical trial research is musculoskeletal, because in one and another way, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we definitely will be affected with the knee joint pain. And for the last 45 minutes, you are keenly looking towards this presentation, neck pain. None of you have faced the problem? No backache? You mean you people are consistently sitting without any movement from the chair? So, musculoskeletal, skin is the one of the major area where we can focus, and the people also doing good results are also getting. Nervous system, not negligible. Gastrohepatic system, endocrinology, the most explorable till today. We got a good results in the metabolic, hypothyroidism and the diabetes. Finally, as a researcher, next please. I am remembering Robert Frost's stanza, Stopping by Woods and Snow Evening. As an investigator, as a researcher, the woods are lovely, dark and deep. Like what we are imagining, research is also something, it looks very lovely, but very dark and very deep. But I have promised to keep, as long as I'll be there associated with this project of Science Unani System of Medicine, I'll try to keep myself alive with my own work. So, I'm miles to go before I sleep, and I'm miles to go before I sleep. Thank you. Any question, any comment, any constructive point which you wanted to share, to discuss? To the best of my ability, I'll try to answer you. Sir? Hermes Pharma, they are the people who came out of this capsule of Marjuna philosophy. The purpose of bringing this capacity, don't think that I am the brand ambassador for such a thing. I am just giving you the dosage form. Marjuna philosophy, basically it is made of the sugar base. No, the efficacy of the marginofloxacin cannot be questionable. But at the same time, the people suffering with the diabetes also need the such a drug. So the capsule was made from free of sugar and the sugar preparation. So we are thinking that it may help the people with the intended effect. But efficacy-wise, I'm not sure how much it's efficacious in comparison to marginofloxacin. Because no, capsule can obviously do something. Excellent. That's what. This is not my area. I will just inform the house. The people are doing such a research. Of course, I can share you. Lupo and Nazila. It is one of the formulation we discussed at our dispensing section. Dr. Hamiduddin from the Saidala department, he did a tremendous job to convert this Lupo and Nazila into granular form. And efficacy-wise also we observed that more or less it's equal. There is no inferiority. And he is a very passionate personality. He is consistently doing such innovative work. We hope so in future he will help to come out of different dosage forms which are very comfortable to the suffering community. Maybe my talk is over. Thanks to the opportunity given by the organizer. I forget to address the very dynamic personalities. Of course, in the beginning only, I acknowledge organizers, but individually I am addressing the people who are the backbone of this event. The very dynamic personality, that Additional Director, Asmin Madam Ji, Deputy Director, Asmin Madam Ji, and my beloved student, very naughty, Dr. Shahabuddin, who is presently working as the registrar, and Dr. Hakim Sam, of course, he is from Ayurveda, but I never find him away from Unani. He is always with the Unani. Thank you. Another personality, Dr. Khalid, of course, he is a very dynamic man. Dr. Khabbar sir, I met him in Mandya and Nelmangala, two places where I have been invited as a speaker to address one adolescents group and one group of practitioners in Mandya, where I met with Dr. Khabbar sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for explaining us in detail about the contributors to Unani system of medicine and explaining Unani as a science and research regarding the concepts and practices of research, and stressing on the R&D and trends of research in Unani to make us good researchers, teachers, and good physicians. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Sayyida Yasmin ma'am, Dr. Hakim sir, and Dr. Shahabuddin sir to present the token of gratitude to Dr. Hamdi sir.
आपको किसी ने नहीं करवा